welcome back to another video. Today we are doing a little fun but very important and something I think you should all do to grow your business and become bigger, but also be able to check in each year and see like how far you've come. So please get yourself a notebook or something. You can use paper, but I do think it's better to have like a little notebook or something you can have specifically for this that you can use every single year. So grab yourself a booklet and a pen, and I'm going to talk you through some of the goal setting and the ways that I do goals, and we'll set them with you, and you can pause the video in between as you're doing each part, but this is something that I use to keep myself in check, and also I feel like it makes me, it's made me achieve, I don't know why my hair is doing that little like random bit there. It's helped me achieve what I have achieved, and this year my business has revenued, well, in the last 12 months we've revenued just under 110,000. So it's a pretty big business now. It's still a small business, but it's a pretty big business. We're now VAT registered and it's all very scary, but this is gonna help you get to the scary stage that I'm at. So grab this and let's get it. First of all, I want you to get a page and write the year that you've just come from. So if you're watching this right now, you need to write 2023, and you need to put a summary of 2023, and I want you to write positive and negative, like, so have two sections, and I want you to write all of the positive things that came from this year to do with your business, and I want you to write all of the negative things that came from this year of your business, and be honest, because it's going to be something that will really help looking back over in the future. So for example, you may write that you finally sold your first candle, or your first purse, or you designed your first item, or you went to your first craft fair, you opened a website, you joined Etsy, you know, all of those kinds of things. Have a little think about what you've done this year that's positive, and then go down the negative route as well. So did you waste money on something that didn't work? Did you pay for something that came and it wasn't what you thought it was and it wasn't a good idea? Did you think of an idea and then look it up and it's already been done? Like, all of the kind of negative things that you can think of that stick out from this year. So positive and negative. Pause the video and then come back when you've done that. And I try and get like as many down as you can think of, because you want to be able to look back and think like in the future, like, oh, I remember when I did that and I thought that was the end of the world and now it's not. So do that and then come back. So goal setting. We're going to want to be very specific within each category. I feel like being specific is what's made me grow. I feel like you need to think about, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, if you say you're going to make $1 million next year, you're going to make $1 million, like breathe it into existence or all that kind of rubbish. I don't believe in that. I don't think that's a smart thing. I think that makes you, if you don't reach it, you think, oh, it didn't work and I'm not going to do it anymore. You need to be smart about it. You need to think like what is actually in your reach, but also think big and believe in yourself, because I'm not joking. Every single year I do it, I think there's no way I'm going to reach this, but like this would be my absolute max, and then I go past it. So think about what you actually can do. Don't write something ridiculous that's like almost unlikely to happen like at all. So think about what's in your reach but that is still a big goal, and break it down into sections. So for a business, which I'm assuming you have if you're watching this video, there's obviously lots of categories. There's sales, there's revenue, there's profit, there's then different platforms like perhaps Instagram followers, TikTok followers, the amounts of orders you have on each platform, the amounts of markets you attend, the amount of products you've sold in that year, amount of new products that you've released. Is there any products that you want to release that you haven't released yet? Is there any products that you want to design and you want to plan and release this year? You need to think about all of those kinds of things. I'm just thinking if there's anything else. Perhaps think forwards to Christmas, because obviously that will come in this category. And we want to be specific about the goals. So take Instagram, for example. If you're just starting out and you don't really have any followers, we're not going to say that you want to go and have 10,000 followers by the end of the year, because it's unrealistic. I mean, obviously if you have a post go viral or whatever, that's absolutely fine, but it's unlikely to happen. So we're going to want to be specific and not unrealistic. So let's say, for example, in my first year, I think my target was to hit 2,000. So I think I ended up hitting 1.5 in my first year. So, but you see, you aim bigger and you come in very close to it, which is still a very good amount for a first year, I think. But if you're already at 1, maybe your target is 2 or even 3, like depending on the growth you've already had. So you can set goals like that for online followers, the same with TikTok. If you want to jot down any ideas that you're already having right now for your goals for 2025, and write that at the top, write goals for the year, so that you remember what year it is. And then pause the video, come back to me, and I will go through some of the ones that I have so that you can copy the kind of ideas if you can't think of anything. So how I set mine out is, first of all, I do all the ideas that I have. So I have certain products that I'm releasing this year. I don't want to just read it out. My cheeks have gone really rosy. I don't want to just read out my ideas, but any new ideas you have of products you might want to do this year, write those first. That's what I do. So if you have a candle business, any new scents, if you have a clothing business, maybe some new designs, if you have, I'm trying to think of other businesses, whatever business you have, think of like the different types of things you can release and write any of those that you may like. Then I actually have YouTube on my targets for this year. So then I would write how many subscribers or how many watch hours or how many comments, or maybe I just write that I want to grow it, or maybe I just would write that I want to build an audience or to have people engage, things like that. So it doesn't have to be numbers. I just find numbers easier to check back in on at the end of the year. So if you can put a number or even guess a number, you can write that, and you can always write next to it more specifically that you want to have engaged followers, because numbers don't actually always mean anything. I then go into my revenue. So I break down the revenue that I would like on each platform. So for me, that is Amazon, Etsy, my website, through markets and through wholesale. So that's 5 lots of revenue that I put a goal for. So obviously this is before fees, so you need to think about that. This isn't anything to do with your actual take home money. Do that afterwards. So then after that, I break down the profit that I want to hit. I actually put the profit all in one category because it's easier to work out my profit and it's easier to see. So I then do a goal of what I would like to profit from that year, which is your take home money before tax though. If you're in the tax bracket, if you're earning over the tax bracket, which I'm unsure of how it sits if you have a job alongside it. I'm assuming that you get taxed on all of this income, but I'm not really sure. So ask an accountant about that. But yeah, do a profit estimate and be realistic. You're not gonna go and profit. You can kind of work it out based on previous years if you've already had other years. If you haven't, try and work it out based on the amount of sales that you're wanting and the profit margins that you currently sit at, because you don't want to go and say like, you're probably not going to do this if this is your first year, but you're not going to say I want a revenue 100k and I want to profit 70. Like, it's not going to happen. You're not going to be profiting 70%, not after all of the fees from all the platforms, unless you're selling everything on your website, then you might do. And then I have my other goals. So for example, getting stocked in shops, or attending this specific market, or attending this event, or having this person notice me, or perhaps you may want to have a specific influencer share your products, or more specific things like that. Maybe you want to do something differently to how you did it this year. So for me, I have that I need to get on top of Christmas stock a lot earlier because I ran out much earlier than I wanted to. So even that can be a goal. And then if any of them need to be explained further, I just explain at the bottom what I mean by that. And anything to elaborate on that part. Then what you can do, which you don't have to do, is I then have my own personal resolutions alongside it, which is just nice to look back along at the end, back over at the end of the year. So then you will tuck this away put it in a drawer, put it in a cupboard, put it in the loft, put it somewhere where you know where it is, but you're not going to look at it, and you do not look at this. So make sure it's detailed, because you're going to want to know what you were talking about when you come back to next year. Do not look at it until the week coming up to the end of the year next year. So after Christmas next year is the next time you will touch this book, and you're not to look at it in between, because I feel like if you look at it in between, that's when you start doubting. You're going to think, I'm not going to reach that, or I'm not going to do that, or that's so hard, and you just want to put it away, not think about it, and you just go as hard as you can on the business, and you just put in your absolute all in everything, and then you come back to this at the end of the year and you will be so surprised at what you've managed to achieve, as long as you've been realistic. Don't be stupid about it. Don't be like, I'm gonna hit this. That's just never gonna happen, because you're just gonna come back to it and you're gonna feel small and you're gonna feel disheartened, and that is not what you want. So put it away. If you've finished, go and hide it, and we'll chat about it next year, I guess. We'll come back and have a look. But let me know if you've got any goals that you feel comfortable sharing. Please let me know in the comments, because I love reading all of your goals, targets, all of your new businesses, all of your new ideas. If you don't have a candle business, I have a candle business, if you haven't guessed. Please let me know what kind of business you have and what other businesses are following this account. I would love to know. And yeah, let me know if you can. I do like to keep mine quite private, so I understand if you don't want to share, but if you can share some of your goals, or at least maybe one top goal from all of you. I would love to know what your biggest goal is of the year. And I will catch you on Sunday in the vlog, but do let me know if you liked this video, and I can't wait for us to do it again next year and see how different all of our businesses are, and they will be. Just gotta energy. It's January, productive energy. Go start it. Go and get up off the sofa, get up off the chair, whatever you're doing now. Just get up and go and start something and do it.